Think at the camera.
Okay.
Yeah. That way it's more authentic. Well, you know this way better than I do. So I'm going to be taking cues from you. One of the questions I ask all of my guests this question.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been to this building before today?
Yes, I have. I've been to this building several times, actually. Yeah.
What would you have been doing here? Because usually we have spare parts here,
Yeah.
and electronics.
Phone repairing most of the time, but sometimes, a long time ago, I used to buy trousers down there.
Yeah.
Like those, yeah, they were affordable, so.
Yeah. We still have a few guys that do it down there,
Yeah, yeah. But then they used to, where you put it on and then it rips apart just 2 days after buying it? So I had to change.
Yeah, they do that. Mm-hmm. They do. Well, hey, Facebook, guys, thank you so much for joining us. I know we're late, and I was telling Paul this as we were setting up. I said, Paul, this is not a professional studio. Okay, this is a one-man show, Paul. I'm the only one here doing this, so you have to forgive me. Yeah, but welcome, Paul.
Thank you very much, Mr.
And to you viewers, thank you for tuning in. This young man is a filmmaker, and his name is Paul S. Wilo. Is it Wilo or Wilo?
You pronounce it so much, but yours sounds authentic, so I will go for Wilo.
Wilo, but how would you say it?
I think Paul S. Wilo is fine.
Wilo.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you're a filmmaker, and let's start from the beginning, because I was asking you about whether or not you'd been to film school, and you said no. You sort of learned this skill under some type of apprenticeship. Yeah. Tell us about that.
Okay. When I started out, I think there's nothing much like probably film school, and we didn't have much, when you're starting out. But then I wanted to learn more, and so I took a keen interest in attending workshops, a lot of workshops, a lot of master classes. I attended a master class with Lungano Nyoni. I'm not a witch director for 2 weeks. She was holding a master class at Alliance Française.
Stop there for a moment. You attended what? Because you mentioned I'm Not a Witch.
Yes, yes.
Yes, that was a movie done by whom?
Lungano Nyoni.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And who was Lungano Nyoni to you?
For me, I think she became an inspiration after I saw what she managed to do, for the Zambian film industry and just internationally, and how she broke out. So I took a keen interest in wanting to find out more about her works, researching and probably just, networking with her. From that time, I met the likes of Becky Ngoma, Jesse Chisi.
Jesse Chisi, we know Jesse Chisi very well.
Yeah.
We know Becky Ngoma as well.
Yeah.
But as a filmmaker, we're very familiar with Jesse Chisi's work.
Yes.
So you know her?
Yeah, I do. She's a very good friend. Mm-hmm. She's actually a bestie.
Fantastic.
Yes. So I met a few people, and then I started attending a lot of master classes internationally. At film festivals, I would log in. I became an alumni of the Durban International Film Festival a long time ago, before I even got in. I started researching with different tools. YouTube tutorials, and etc. It's a lot actually. And then this came.
So now, tell me about this very interesting project that you've embarked upon and that you've put together. First of all, the title is The Wumba Story.
So it's Maria Christou, The Wumba Story.
Maria Christou, The Wumba Story.
Yeah.
What is this movie about? In a nutshell.
This movie is about a 16-year-old girl from the rural countryside of Siavonga who's trying to break free from a church in order to pursue her dreams. So basically it's just about personal conflict within oneself and how you come to discover your strength as an individual when you are surrounded with people that believe or accommodate something, different beliefs than you do. Yeah, so that's what the story is about.
And how would you classify this movie? Is it a drama? Is it based on a real? Because I know one of the comments or one of the the descriptions on there, it says based on real life events.
Yeah.
Where did you draw the inspiration to make this movie?
Oof, wow. So the story, I'm going to cut the story short. I met this girl. She came from a certain indigenous African church just within Lusaka. And she told me a story of how her church believed in a doctrine. But with her, she wasn't calling for help. She was comfortable. This is a space she was raised in. She was being brainwashed to thinking that her only place in the world is, finding a husband at an early age and then settling down because the world is rotten and you need somebody to protect you as a woman. So when she told me the story, I kept interacting with her, and she didn't seem that she regretted everything. Like to her, it was normal.
She seemed comfortable in
She
that.
was comfortable. She is still comfortable. But then I looked at it from this point of view. What if there's somebody in this church calling for help? You get it? What if there's somebody in this church that is dreaming big and not just having a man by their side? And so I started developing the story from there. I think I drew the inspiration from this girl who was in the situation with this boy. But then, yeah, I drew the inspiration from there.
Interesting. Before I pressed record, you and I were talking about this project, and you mentioned something that I'd never heard of, but you talked about, I think did you call them vagina rights?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I talked about that.
No, let's talk about it. I mean, hey, let's talk about it.
I talked about it, but I didn't think you were going to bring it here.
No, I'm going to bring it up because it's a very important conversation to have.
Yes.
Yeah. Describe what that is or what you know about it, because I think there are people that may be familiar with the custom, but may not be familiar with what they call it. Okay. In a nutshell, what are vagina rights, and what does all that entail?
Okay. To me, I'm going to talk about how I created the theme in the story about vagina rights. It wasn't just about, I'm going to talk about, like, in general, how people understand it. But then, with me, it came as a tool to use to preach or probably rebuke a certain behavior, the society has very much embraced. This is a point where people feel it's comfortable to check on a female or young girl's private parts. Yes, if they're still a virgin. You get that?
To examine a young girl to see if she's still a virgin.
Pure, yeah. So then that in itself, I think for me, I believe it's an infringement of right for a girl child. Because, believe me, you were not comfortable with anybody playing with private parts, because that's a very private place. And then every time somebody touches it and checks to see if you're still intact, I feel that is very traumatizing for a girl child.
It's a violation.
Yes. And those are some of the topics or themes I wanted to address in this film. Yeah, so vaginal rights then.
Is there a thread of... is there something in the movie that sort of deals with that?
Yes, there is something in the movie that sort of deals with that. I think it's a cultural aspect. Most of the time, I've talked about, people believe that if it's not happening in your home, then it's not happening out there. Girls are crying for help outside there. And with me, I came to a realization that I had to put it in a movie. So there is a part in the movie that talks about girls being
examined
exactly
in that way. Now, so let's get back to the movie. When is it going to be released for public viewing? Because I know in one of the descriptions I posted, you did tell me about the Cannes Film Festival that's coming up very soon, and you're going to be a part of that. Your movie is going to be featured there.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
That's a lot to take in at the moment, because when I started up the project, I know that there was so much belief in it, but I didn't think it was going to go, to this extent, where it gets into one of the biggest film festivals in the world. It's exciting, for both the crew and the cast, and both for the industry as well, because this means a lot for the Zambian film industry, not just for me. I would even say, for me, it could not mean the way it means for the Zambian film industry. But then, the kinds came as in, somebody told me, my agent, I have an agent from Kenya, she told me, this is a good movie. This is a brilliant movie, Paul, you need to submit it to the Kinds World Film Festival. And then I was like, Kinds? No. I'll just probably stick with African film festivals. Then she said, no, don't you undermine the project because of how probably you're looking at it. So I did the submission, and then when the notification came, I was like, is this a rejection notification? And then when I went through, and then it was there, like, oh, you've been selected to be part of a festival. We're pleased to receive your film. I mean, it was very, very, it was very, very good. It was a good feeling.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So your movie is going to be featured at the Cannes Film Festival. Now, where is Cannes? Is that in France?
Yes, it's in France.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So now, what does this mean? Does this mean the Cannes, they make sure that you get there? Do they supply your plane ticket? Do they do your accommodation? And what about the cast and crew members, or the main cast in the movie? Do they get to go with you? How does all that work?
Okay, so, but now, before, they used to do that, like where you send in air tickets, and sometimes you just, probably they'll send in visa allowances or whatever it is. And then you go there, probably they'll send in 4 people to travel. But then because of COVID, they had to communicate on that issue because, you know, the world is becoming a little bit, you know, you need to take precautions. But then they do send air tickets. But then we're waiting for us to travel. We need to like get a nomination. So it's a nomination we're waiting for. So they'll be announcing the nominees, I think, next year. Next month. Next month or next week, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
That's when they'll actually announce the nominees. Then if you are a nominee, then I'm praying I get nominated so that we get to,
Wonderful.
travel.
Amazing. So now, after Cannes, do the Zambian public, do we get to see it? Do we get to see this movie?
It's a Zambian film. It's yours.
So when do we get to see it, and where do we get to see it?
The movie is going to be premiering at New Metro Cinemas. I'm yet to set on a date because there's been a little bit of a coincidence with a certain Malawian film that's supposed to be premiered in Zambia. So I hope I'll have the dates very soon. But for any updates, you can follow the page, the Maria Christou page. We'll be posting everything from there. Yeah.
And I was going to ask you about, I had a question about, I forgot my train of thought, but basically just wanted to know, and we want to be a part of this as SML TV in terms of promoting, because I've seen the trailer, and I'm going to post the trailer in a few minutes.
Thank you very much.
And so that we're a part of the whole project. Let me ask you, what sort of help did you get in making this movie? Because based upon what you're telling me, you know, you are, in a sense, you probably drew from many different people to help you make this project a reality. Who else helped you with this?
I got help at first. When you're starting out, you know, and then you're thinking, okay, I can manage. And then you realize this project is very big. So I got some help with people that came on board that showed really keen interest, and I'm grateful. People like, there's a partner that I work with, Kachiwawa Piri, he's a filmmaker as well. I got help from Cecilia Pink Mwansa, Hilda Nangoi, Kebi Chalwe, and Charles Piri. These are people that I could run to when I had, you know, a blockage or a difficulty. And Emmanuel Mape as well. He's been a very, very, very good friend and advisor, I would say so. Yeah.
Tell me about the cast, because the cast, it's an all Zambian cast. Do you have any notable, famous actors that are part of this project?
Notable. I may have a few. I don't know if they're qualified to be notable, but yeah. I may have a few. I have a few that have been on the small screen, television. Swed Jackson, Ndimbe, he's in the film. He's playing the religious aspect of righteousness. Then I have like Philomena Nyirenda, she's in Ubuntu. Who else do I have in this film?
Now the main character, the girl that plays Maria Christou.
Bumba.
The girl that plays Wumba. Is she a new sort of actor?
Yes. She is. This is her
debut.
A debut on a feature film. Amazing actress, I would say. She's very, very good.
Interesting.
And people are going to be mesmerized by her performance.
Where did you get her?
Oh, okay, that story is a long story. So I went in, somebody invited me for a stage theater film. There was a festival somewhere, then there was a rehearsal. So I was telling Emmanuel Mape, I was like, I'm looking for a girl to be in a film. And then when we went there, Emmanuel wanted me to meet boys. There were guys that I wanted to go and meet. And then this girl walks in. When she walked in, I told Emmanuel, that's my lead. Before she said it, because before I even talked to her, I said, that looks like my lead in my film. Then Emmanuel was like, how does she look like a lead? She's not even auditioned yet. I'm like, just her look, and now I think she's... But then I forgot about her when I was doing the audition. So I started auditioning with other people first. I auditioned like 300 plus actresses. And then I kept telling my crew, I told Fidelis Mayambo Sunday, I was like, there's that girl I met at the playoffs. They're like, we don't know the girl. Then I was like, oh, we did to get her here. Then I was like, we've auditioned like 200 people. You've not met your lead yet. What?
So
what
at that point, you had already auditioned 200 people.
Yes, I
but
already
you
did.
still had this girl.
I had her in mind. And then I called her and I said, you should come for an audition. And then she was like, where? I'm like, you should come for this audition, but I'm going to tell you something. There's a scene that everybody's not doing. You should do that scene. And then she came in, and then everybody was like, oh, this is a girl that I was telling you about. And people were like, okay, so. I'm like, okay, can you please just give us what you have? And then when she did the scene, we were in awe. And it was like, what do you say? Then everybody goes, she's the one. She's the lead. I was like, yeah, she's definitely
And that's
the
how
lead.
she got it?
Yeah, that's how she got it.
What's the actress's name?
Dinus Desilungu.
Dinus Desilungu.
Yeah.
We should have her on here.
Yeah,
We should have the main crew. I mean the main cast.
That'll be good.
Yeah,
That'll
come
be so
on
good.
and we could do some interviews with them.
Yeah.
Well, hey Paul, I'm very proud of you.
Thank you very much. Mr.
And
Mwewa.
I've seen the trailer, which I'm going to post now after this interview. And we wish you all the best. We're going to support this movie. We'll go see it. We'll promote it as best as we can. And we look forward to more projects after this.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you for having me.
Good luck. Bye-bye.